G'day guys and gal, future Majorkill here. That will make sense in a second. After months of hard work, a lot of challenges and obstacles, as well as around $50,000, I have done it. My magnum opus, a calendar featuring 12 different cosplay shots. These aren't just any cosplay shots though, these are nudie shots, featuring multiple stunning female models in full Battle Mace 40 million cosplay. To top it all off, a very talented Photoshop artist has placed these models into the universe of Battle Mace 40 million, so each image is its own artwork. Obviously, I can't show you what's actually in them because YouTube is a fickle mistress who will demonetize this video into ever-living oblivion, but I hope you get the idea. It's so good, man. It's so much better than hentai. So here's the deal. If you find that as awesome as any man with a functioning reproductive system should, then the calendar is now available for sale below, either in an A4 saddle stitch format, or you can get the Mega A3 version, which has a better GSM, whatever that means, as well as my own personal signature. There will only be a couple of these available. The A4 will be unlimited, but only for the next 30 days. 30 days from now, both these calendars will be permanently taken offline. If you don't want the physical calendar but still want to see the 12 awesome images, then there is a cheaper digital version of the calendar you can get as well. If you pick up any of the physical versions, either A4 or A3, then you can get the digital version for 50% off. If you're subscribed to my Patreon, then you're in for a treat, as we took a ton of photos of each model with different poses and different ways of them wearing the cosplay. We have so many stunning photos that didn't make the cut. Hence each week, for the next 12 weeks, I'll be posting 5 unused images for each month. The first month is already live for the $1 patrons to sus. However, future months will only be for $10 and above patrons, so if you were thinking about joining or upgrading your pledge, then this is the best time. Okay, so now you know what is up. Why is there another 10 minutes or so of this video to go? Well, putting together a calendar like this is a bit of a project and it wasn't easy. Straight up, it nearly failed and I nearly lost a ton of money. So it was quite the entertaining process. So if you want to see that process, as well as get a teaser for the kind of stuff in the calendar, then keep watching. But if you're satisfied with just buying it and moving on with your life, then this video has already done its job. And if you're like, no thanks, I'm actually gay, well then good news, one of the months features me. G'day guys and gal. Bit of a special video today. I'll be going through and documenting how I hopefully achieved something amazing. A Majorkill cosplay nude calendar. Using 4 different models, 12 cosplay shots in a professional studio, then I'll take those 12 shots and get them photoshopped so they look like they belong in the universe of Battle Mace 40 million. This will be quite the undertaking. I'll need to find the models, get the cosplays made, find the perfect photographer, and the perfect Photoshop artist. And everyone I include has to be totally cool with a nude cosplay calendar. Unless I pull all these things together, this shoot is going to be an absolute flop. It's also probably going to cost me a shitload of money, like probably around $20,000. So yeah, please buy the calendar that's probably in the description below. This video will most likely be like a chaotic blast, putting all these moving pieces together. Very ADHD. The most challenging part will probably be finding the models, but you know, hopefully it's not too hard. Melbourne is notorious for girls having sticks up their asses that find shit like cosplay really weird and intimidating. So hopefully we can find some good, energetic cosplay models without having to revert to, you know, just paying strippers. Although to be fair, strippers would probably end up doing the best job anyway. Let's get started. So the first step is to get the cosplays commissioned, as they will take the longest to arrive and put together. Funnily enough, the Philippines is full of people with great arts and craft skills who can make great cosplay at a decent price. For those wondering about how to go about getting cosplay made, I personally just go onto a cosplay Facebook group, message a few people offering their services, and go from there. It will seem really scammy, like the entire time you'll say to yourself, I'm definitely getting fucking scammed, this is the shadiest shit ever, but then bam, the cosplay arrives at your door. For this, I hired 4 different cosplay makers, A, to compare who was the best so I can use them for the future, and also so they get made within a good amount of time. After a bit of back and forth, I had locked in the cosplay creation. Now it was time to be patient and let the cosplays roll in. By now, you've probably noticed my ever-growing collection of Warhammer shit behind me. These are all for the calendar shoot, so that's that mystery solved. Overall, the cosplay makers did a great job. Each piece looks really legit and I'm stoked with how it all came out. Favorite bits are probably the Newcron and Tau stuff, which were done by the same guy, so I'll definitely use them again for future projects. The total cost of all this came to about $4,000, so that's how much this project has cost so far. Let's see what that number is by the end. So now that all like the cosplay and shit is sorted, I need to secure the photographer, makeup artist, location, and models. I reached out to my mate Tom about the project because the man's a fucking wizard with photography and Photoshop, which is the dream combination for this. At first, I was worried he wouldn't be keen on the project because he's a straight arrow professional and I'm a fucking retard that wants to dress up pretty ladies in cosplay and take photos of their tits. But he did see the vision and you know, it helped that I offered him $15,000. So professional photographer and Photoshop artist secured. Makeup was easy. I went with Maxi, who was more than happy to get involved, as I've worked with her on my Custody shoot as well as the Sisters of Battle shoot that I've done before. If you liked that Sister of Battle photo, the whole shoot is on my Patreon if you wanted to suss that out. This has actually been like a lot easier than I was expecting so far. Touch wood. Time to lock in the models and then we're gonna be on, we're gonna be ready. So it turns out that there isn't any nude modeling agencies in Melbourne. I asked a model friend of mine about nude models and she literally said, don't you mean strippers? So yeah, I guess that's not an option, but not the worst thing in the world. My previous experience with models has been pretty shithouse. So next I was like, OnlyFans creators would love this. They get paid, they are already used to putting their tits on the internet, and they get a lot of free exposure and content, pushing thousands of people to their Instagram and dozens, if not hundreds, to their OnlyFans. What a smart business move for an OnlyFans creator, I thought. Well, turns out there's a reason why these chicks are on OnlyFans and not studying to be a doctor or a lawyer. None of them were keen. I even asked a cosplayer who does nude OnlyFans and she said she'd do it for 100K, which is obviously a bullshit donkey offer. Another one accepted, then deleted her message and then said no, saying how she wanted to maintain control of her own content. I won't be showing the accounts I talked to because I'm not a doxing scumbag, but the OnlyFans avenue was a flop. It's very frustrating when you're offering like literal gold on a diamond platter, but they're just too unaware to realize it. I knew Melbourne was gonna be fucking shit for this. If I was in LA or literally anywhere in Europe, I have no doubt I'd be able to find 4 gorgeous models in like one single day. I don't know what to do. I've already paid the deposit for the photographer and the studio I want to book only has 24 hours before I have to pay for that as well. So, fuck me, I guess. Time for plan C. I thought the best thing would be to try escorts. After all, if you can pay them $1,000 to follow you around as a slave for a day, then I'm sure they would be more than happy to do a photo shoot. Turns out, I was once again wrong, as the girls would either not reply, decline, or accept but then just ghost me. One chick straight up said, fuck no, as if I just asked if I could skin her cat. So today's the day. I have no models and I have 3 hours to pay the studio for the booking. I do, however, recall a friend telling me once that topless waitresses will like offer out their girls for raunchy photo shoots. So I've got the number of one of them punched into my phone. I'm really nervous though. If this doesn't work, the whole shoot is fucked and I just lose a bunch of money. All right, here we go.
Hi, this is from How can I help you today?
Yeah, hi, my name's Riley and I'm looking to get a number of your girls for a topless photo shoot. Is that a service you guys offer?
Oh, yeah, no worries. We do that all the time. Can you give me some extra details about the photo shoot and we can go from there?
Yeah, no worries at all, thank you. Fuck yes, we are back on, baby! Oh my god, I'm so relieved. The shoot's back on track. That sounded really promising. Like I talked to her for a bit longer and she was like, yeah, no worries, that works out perfectly. So yeah, dude, shoot's back on track. We're not gonna just lose a bunch of fucking money for nothing. After a couple calls with the manager of the agency, mostly because I had to explain the extremely niche nature of the project, I chose 4 ladies that I thought would be great for the shoot. I was told they were all nerdy and had done this type of stuff before, so it should create a chill environment. Today's the day of the shoot. I'm actually pretty nervous. Last time I did something like this was the Sister of Battle cosplay shoot, but the model for that shoot just like wasn't really into it. I think she found like cosplay weird or something. So I'm hoping this time around the models are a lot more comfortable, have a lot more fun, and it just creates like a much better vibe. My retard brain forgot to charge the microphone before leaving, so despite some slick B-roll, we have no audio, but you know, that is all right. The shoot was a blast. All 4 models were amazing, super friendly and super easy to work with. Straight up, if you guys ever need to do a cheeky photo shoot, use showgirls. They are legendary and just as good, if not better, than professional models. Photos came out great as well. The Instagrams for the models will be in the description below if you want to chuck them a follow. Oh yeah, and to add to the cost tally, the 4 models cost $6,000 for the day. The studio was $1,000 and the makeup artist was $500, so that adds another $7,500 to the budget. Now we just gotta wait for Tom to Photoshop the images and then we can just send it all off to the printer. It's been a few weeks and all the images have been finalized. Didn't even need that much back and forth with Tom. Man's an absolute weapon, and all the flicks, I kid you not, are a work of art. I am so relieved. Honestly, I'm genuinely glad I spent extra on the quality here. Yeah, sure, I could have just gone to a dude on Fiverr and given them like $100 to Photoshop them, but I know for a fact I wouldn't be satisfied with the end result. And if this project is gonna be my magnum opus, I'm not gonna spare any expense. Speaking of expenses, we've gone way over budget. There's the cost of Tom, the models, the studio, the cosplays, the makeup. And to print the initial batch of calendars, it'll also cost me an additional $13,000. That number will hopefully grow if I need to reorder another batch due to high sales. So if I need to reorder another batch, this project will cost around $50,000. Jesus Christ, please buy a fucking calendar. So the calendars have arrived and I am over the moon with the quality. I made sure all the settings and like CMYK bullshit was all correct. When we did the hentai calendars, I kind of fucked it up and I packed and sent them in these like thin A4 envelopes, which yeah, wasn't good. So this time we've got padded bubble wrapping to make sure everyone's calendar gets to them in tip-top condition. I was able to lower shipping rates for Australia to $7.95, and I wanted to lower it for international, but just straight up with inflation as well as the weight and size of these calendars, especially if you order more than one or you live in Europe, it's just not viable. However, at $15 Australian, that is still cheap as fuck. Also, I did kind of fuck up one thing. This calendar has been in production since late last year, but my lazy ass took ages to finally put it together. As such, I may have made it a 2022 calendar. Oh well, too late to change that now, and besides, I don't think many people are buying it to track the months. And let's be honest, it wouldn't be a Majorkill calendar if it wasn't kind of fucked up. Apart from that, an absolutely resounding success in my books, as long as I at least break even. What are you waiting for? Battle Mace 40 million titties await.